Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to the Women's Wellness Network, and welcome, of course, to our guest today, Sigrid. Hello, Sigrid. How are you?
Hello, Tammy. I'm fine. Here in Berlin, Germany, the sun is shining. It's early evening, and I was already outside in a park meeting friends, and there are woody hills and a lot of fountains. So a very relaxing space here in the midst of Berlin. Yes.
Lovely. It sounds like a beautiful day. And before we go any further, could you please tell our audience at the Women's Wellness Network a little bit about that beautiful painting behind you?
Uh, well, well, it is a woman who has her baby very close to her chest. Yes. And for me, it symbolizes love and being loved and also self-love. Yes. It could also be you as an adult with your little child, your inner child. Yes. And that's exactly what I'm working with. I'm a self love coach, and well, self love as the foundation of the capacity to really love others and not only out of the need not to be alone. Yes.
Right.
But what is also very interesting, which I did not mention from the very beginning, is that my ability to love myself and to be loved and love others is really nurtured by my love from a higher power. Call it God, goddess, nature, or the power of love itself, right? And in all crises of my life, I was sure that there is this power, and this power empowered me to really care for myself. And yes, then I could care for others. And that I did as a teacher for many years. And as a therapist, I'm still doing that. And what is very new that I open also to the online world, which is a big challenge for me because I'm a really a one-to-one person. Yes, yes,
That's
but well, it's a new challenge, and I will see how far it takes me. Right?
right. Well, this is good. Open to new ways and a new yeah, there's challenges. Most definitely. I find them myself, even right before we had this conversation, I was having some technical challenges. And that's okay because I think it's all part of it. And we understand, we're all going through it. We're all growing with these growing pains of this new way of interacting and being together and healing together. And yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Yes, yes, it is.
And it does take
Well,
some bravery.
yes, that's why my program is called Dare, a holistic and creative self-love journey, because to dive really deep in your neglected self, you need courage. Yes. And well, I had already written my ebook, sent it to all those people, friends especially, and people also here in our online world who were interested in it. And then I realized by lying at a lake, I forgot a very important aspect, and that was that spiritual aspect, that
Mm.
my self love has not come out of the blue, but it was, well, influenced by my Christian family, a Catholic one, but there was a punishing God, yes.
Right.
And by one of my many therapies I underwent myself before becoming a therapist myself, I had, well, a therapist who was an alcohol addict once ago, and she was so beautiful from her outer as well as from her inner way. And she told us, I was in the mid 20s, that her way to overcome her addiction was the higher power in which she believed. And for her, it was God. And I listened to her and I was a bit amazed because this God was not anymore a demanding and punishing one, but loving, caring, supporting, uh, appreciating. And I felt like, wow, what's going on here? And it happened that a sunbeam came into the room and was exactly around me. And I felt so empowered because I really realized that feeling of, well, what actually can do any human being to me if there is that higher power who protects me. Not only my parents and all my beloved ones, but there is an even higher power. And well, it was interesting that while lying at the lake, I realized, gosh, I forgot to mention it. And then I said, Sigrid, well, my program is a dare program, but sometimes I'm not daring myself to stand up for, in that case, spirituality. Maybe, maybe it was because I felt like when I start mentioning spirituality, many people leave me. Eh, It, but it was really not conscious. It was really kind of not there, kind of subconscious. Well, my protection strategy, right, to protect myself. And but I revised my ebook, and now this is in. This is inside. Yes, yeah, I dare to share it.
That a girl. I love that. I dare to share it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what prompted you to make the book in the first place?
Well, I'm in that online community where we were told to share our offers so
Mhm.
that people can get to know each other. And well, I created a Facebook group where I already shared some of my offers. And the next step to me was to create an ebook. And it was a great help for me to get aware of really my work. Yes. Well, actually, there are those essentials like dare to dive deep in your self-discovery. D, A for self-awareness and self-acceptance. R for reconnecting with your neglected self, and reconciliation with whatever you think you should forgive yourself or all the rest of the world. And then E for expressing gratitude, what you have already experienced. And also that forgiveness work, yes. That was what you could do at that given time. And that was what all the others around you was what they could have done in that given time, right? And because I have been a teacher for so many years for English, art, music, and drama, I'm creative myself, and I well know how important it is to express yourself creatively. That can also be by gardening, by cooking, by baking. It is not only focused on art or music or something like this. And I created a YouTube channel, which was also part of my ebook. Yes. First, I realized, oh, that's how I work. Oh, great. And then I got some great testimonials from three of my clients. I asked everybody, but it were women who answered. So I took three female testimonials. And yes, before I wanted to finish the ebook, I realized, I could put the link of my Facebook site, of my creative YouTube channel. And then I was working for all this. And it was so much fun to finally share how I am still dealing with my issues, right? So my YouTube channel, a combination of my music and art and texts and ideas and experience, doesn't claim any artistic standard. It is just sharing my own feelings, thoughts, yes, because like all my work I did as a teacher, or I'm still doing as a therapist, or now I'm kind of exercising, or what is the right word, exploring in the online world, is for well, at least maybe inspiring some to also love themselves more as a foundation to love others more and to express themselves in any ways. And well, my passion is creativity, right? And to express myself in a creative way. And I had so much fun to watch my students from a very young age till they passed their A levels, how they express themselves by writing, by drama, by acting, by singing, by yes, yes,
Oh.
that is really my passion
Well,
still. Yes.
I can just visualize you being a teacher and really seeing those kids and seeing their talents. Like, I'm sure because you're creative yourself and you have all that within you, those children probably would have been so lucky to have you in that way because lots of teachers are not creative and, sit down, do your work, and let's just, you know, get your A's and
Yeah.
B's and everybody completes their levels and away they go. But having somebody who's creative and has that fire inside of them, the authenticity that I hear you speak with. You said about your YouTube channel, it's not, it's not all polished or to a standard or whatever. It's authentic. And that is what
Yeah.
we need. Yeah, that's what we need.
Yes, Tammy, that's really what we need. We live in a so-called, well, I just know the word in German, Hochglanzformat Welt. That means in a world where everything is perfect, everybody presents. If you take a photo of somebody, even the little children pose like this, it is terrible, right? And everything must be perfect. And I am a perfectionist, and I know what it means always to put yourself under that pressure and to give myself the permission to do it my way. My standard is my standard. And also in this online world, um, everybody runs his own race. Yes, I'm far behind all so many, but well, what I do with all my heart, and I love to do it, and I have fun in it. And maybe I never have a big online business. And actually, I don't need it because I'm a retired teacher. I have my income. Yes, it is a modest one, but enough. Well, I really do what I do now because I'm not working as a teacher anymore, is to share what I still have to share. And and I like my texts not to be on my laptop or my music in GarageBand or my art just here and there or here on the walls, but well, to show up. And maybe I also encourage others to show up, to get out of their shadow and to get up in the light. Yes,
Right?
but not in the light of I'm a star, but in the light of I am the way I am. It's
I am
me.
here.
I
Here I
am here.
am.
Yes, with everything which is me. Yes, yes, that's
Beautiful. Yes. Oh, yes. And I think again, my eye goes to the artwork behind you and the birthing of ourselves, the birthing of our authentic self of who we truly are without all those things that we've taken on upon us from outside, our growing up, our religions, you know, our standards, our other BS, our belief systems that don't actually support who we are as, you know, the real us. So that sounds like what you do. It sounds like you help people uncover that. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you actually work with people?
well. Let's take it this way. A good friend of mine, before she visited me, she lives where I come from. I come from my hometown, and her daughter, who is living here in Berlin, and whenever my friend visits her daughter, she visits me. And her daughter said to my friend, "Ah, you are having a date with yourself, right, Mama?" So, and that was a big compliment. So she comes to myself, to me, my place, and she feels like meeting herself, right? So, and Well, I'm working, well, first, I introduced them to my room so that they feel relaxed first. They look around, a lot of plants and paintings and the music instruments which are there and a lot of plays so that people, if they want to express themselves by acting, there is place, or by playing music and they don't need to play piano. Maybe they just want to express their anger, whatever, right? So the instruments are just possibilities to express. There is the possibility to paint. So, but first of all, to come in. And then we do a lot of body work first for just come down, come here in the room, yes. Some feel like, oh, I'm so I don't know what, and then say, okay, music and let's dance. So yes, so including body work is very important for me. And then of course coming in touch with the feelings, not only by talking. And as a big fan of Gestalt therapy, I do a lot of things like role plays, or, well, there are many expressions I don't know in English, but Gestalt therapy is a way to be in the here and now with what you are thinking, what you are feeling. And from that, we go, from where do you know it? We go to the past. And then we can also look at the future. But it is above all being here with your body, with your feelings, with your mind, and with several, that is that holistic approach, and with creative methods and with creativity itself, I accompany them to their processes, and often with some or more progress. And if they feel like weeping, there is room for weeping, shouting for shouting, being angry, everything is welcomed, and there is place, and I can take it. Yes, so because I went through it myself. Yes.
Right.
So I think the best therapist, by the way, is the one who really dived deep him herself. Yes. So I'm not shocked if somebody is, however, right? But many come and they really want to express whatever they want to express in a creative way. At the moment, I still accompany a singing coachee, and well, she came because she wanted to sing. And by singing, I felt like, oh, in her voice was a lot of anxiety. And I
Mhm.
addressed that, and that was exactly her topic. Yes. So the other one, I want to act. And okay, what scene do you want to act? And okay, let's take this scene. You want to act, but you don't know. Yes. So and well, I pick them up where they are, but I listen to what do they want. And if it is with creative methods, if it is creativity, if it is first more speaking, of course, I don't push them with my Gestalt therapy ideas. Yeah. but but actually people who come to me, they are open to those alternative methods. Yes.
Right.
Um, yes, the problem here in Germany is that only those three traditional ways of therapies are covered by the insurance. That is
Mm.
psychoanalysis, that is kind of Tiefenpsychologie, you say in German, deep psychology, which
Okay.
is a good way, and Verhaltensbehaviorism, I think, Verhaltenstherapie. Well, okay, and my way, of course, is not paid. That's why I always also consider what can my client pay, and then we find another solution. Yes, or we have only meetings here or there. Yes, I open it also for Zoom meetings. Yes, so
Mm.
well, as a teacher, I was always working in comprehensive schools because I wanted to to be there for everyone and not only for the high school or for the I wanted to have Mohammed and I wanted to have Alessandro. So every ethics group, religious, gender, and that's why I also I open to always the people themselves want to be accompanied, right? And by writing the ebook, I really got, there is a clear system, because sometimes I start with that, sometimes with that. But those 7 essentials, they make sense. And if you go through them the way I've written the book, that makes sense. But sometimes somebody only needs body awareness. Another needs that creativity support. And the other, I'm so angry. And there is a lot of first work with the feelings, and then of course forgiveness work and reconciliation work. So yes, but yes, like a teacher, I had some ideas, but what happened in the classroom, because you want more of this, okay, what about so right.
My gosh, I
Yeah.
love your creative medicine. It's like that. It's creative medicine. It heals you in different ways that um, you know, talk therapy can't do. And the way that I see you. I totally would come and love to come and work with you because you have that
Yes, there is
yeah,
still some space.
that you have that feeling that makes you want to try. It makes you want to participate. It makes you want to, yeah, show me what I can do. What like you have that energy about you, and I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
My
you.
goodness, yeah, like you must, yeah. I can
Yeah.
see how, of course I've heard of all these kinds of different ways of doing it, but not all in one place either with one facilitator. Like a lot of times there's just, music therapy or there's just the expressing when you're like really letting it out. That's a different kind of therapy. So I really love that you kind of offer everything and you've molded it in the way that um, around your own experiences, obviously, and with your talents, like beautiful talents that are gifts and can be really useful in that way for somebody else. That's amazing.
Yes. Well, maybe a nice story. When my students did a mistake, I always said, "What a great mistake! Anybody an idea what else we could say," or something like this. And once I came into a classroom of older ones, and there was written at the blackboard, um, "We laugh to Mrs. Schmitz." And I said to myself, what an interesting mistake. We laugh to Miss Schmitz. It doesn't make any sense. Either they meant we love Mrs. Schmitz, I was smiling, or we love to have English with Mrs. Schmitz. So I was standing there as usual and I said, interesting mistake. Any idea for how to put it differently? There was smiling pupil students in front of me. Some started to giggle. Oh, I did not understand. And then I repeated, any other idea? Well, in the end, they were laughing loud because, and then the one who wrote it on the blackboard said, Mrs. Schmitz, don't you listen to a special TV channel? I said, to what? And there is a German channel, and as a jingle, there is always this, we love to entertain you. And they meant, we love to Mrs. Schmitz. That means we have entertainment. And I love that because I always wanted to become an actress, but I was one as a teacher, right? And later on, I created a performance about failing and failing better. At the beginning, there is a film with me, I'm a star, I'm a star. And in the end, I go on stage and say I'm me. something like this. Yes, and I could use this graffiti from him, but then of course he named it with the main figure of my solo performance. Yes, we laugh to Mrs. Schum. Yes, so and well, it were my students who showed me that whatever I like to do, I'm already doing as a teacher. Yes, and
Beautiful.
that I did not need to regret not having become an actress, a musician, a singer, because I did it with them. And besides, sometimes, of course, I was also doing it as a musician, but I was full-time teacher, right? But there was my stage.
Oh, beautiful. And the stage of that is so important because all those people grow up and they go out into the world. So I applaud teachers more than I think than anything because it's a difficult job. It's somebody else's child and trying to navigate that and just having so much creativity in your back pocket so that they feel that they feel like they're part of you. They're part of your stardom. They're part of your glory, I guess, ultimately. They're your biggest fans.
Yes, and actually, my students were my biggest teachers,
Mhm.
actually, because they showed me you are enough. You are really enough. You don't need to be a star. You are one. And I always told them, be yourself. And they taught me to be myself too, right? So it was vice versa, this process of teaching and learning. And I learned so much, yes, from my students.
That's
And
beautiful.
I'm very happy that I have still very deep friendships with some of my former students. Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. I have some relationships still with some of my teachers from my past also. So I
Okay.
understand that. Yeah, it's it makes you feel like you're still supported in that way by that teacher when you're friends. We're grown up, we're adults. But there's still that little thing that makes you feel that the teacher makes you feel special as a student, and the teacher feels special to you as a student, being sitting on this side. So yeah, they carry a little light of you in everything they do because you raised them in a way, right? You're part of their experience, you're part of
Yeah.
their parentage, even if, because you probably spent more time with them than their parents did, ultimately. It's a tough job. My mom was a teacher
Yeah.
also, so I understand that.
Oh, yes, yes. It is the way, right?
Mhm.
I later on kept in touch with some of my teachers. And it was one of my teachers, that therapist, whom I already mentioned before, who really laid that foundation of there is a loving God, yes? And I found her on Facebook. And I was so happy to reach her to thank her because she's lived in the States. And it was so great for her to realize what she had caused inside myself, right? And and that's actually what is also so great when I receive kind of feedback from former students. Yeah? So yes. And even if it is the one or the other person, but that is our legacy, yes, to at least have influenced the one or other person. And the more, the better. And maybe that's why I'm now in that online world. I don't know whether it is really something for me. For example, I'm now looking into my camera all the time so that you can see me. But
Right.
um, obviously, I prefer more now to look into your eyes. But when I do this, maybe you do not don't perceive me as watching your eyes or looking into
Mhm.
your eyes. That's why I do this. But it is, of course, not the one-to-one situation which you can have in real person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, there is nothing, in my humble opinion, there is nothing like one-on-one, uh, in-person connection. because there's so many different somatic responses that you don't pick up on over Zoom. And even just being able to, feel the warmth of the person physically in the room is something, I think. So are you working online? You have decided that you're going to go for it?
I'm really starting. Yes, I had my first Zoom meeting about dare to share. And what happened? A lot of friends, German, English ones, or English speaking ones, wanted to come. And in the very end, there were two, but there were one good friend and one good former student, both Germans. But they said, Sigrid, you must train. That's why we do it in English. And then we trained, and I had a lot of problems with my sharing videos, music, etc. But they taught me what I should have done. So it was a great first Zoom session. Yes. And I was so happy that no one else entered yet. Yes. Yes.
I
So
understand that also.
yeah, so that was really my first, and the next shall be in German, but then there will be another one in English. So I will share it via master classes, but well, in our community they call it masterclass. For me, it is too big a word. I call it Zoom meetings. Because there are meetings, and like a teacher, I'm not the one who knows it all, but I'm one of us. And well, of course, I'm guiding through the process, but I can only guide by people who let themselves guide and to also interact, right? So that's why Zoom meeting is the correct word for me, right? And I see we have already 5 past 8 here my time.
Yes, we
So
are. Oh,
yes,
well,
so
let us at least get out there your information. So if people would like to connect with you, either there in Germany or online, how can they do that?
well, I have a website, a therapeutic one. Well, you, I think, have given everything I have to give as websites. So there is a therapeutic website, there is a Facebook group, there is my ebook, there is my YouTube channel, there is my creative website. So there are many um, possibilities to see what I'm doing, how I work a little bit. Also, from my solo performance, there is at least the website of my solo performance, and there is a book also published, but it is in German. It is also about kind of failing and failing better. That is really a topic of mine, yes.
Okay.
Failing and failing better, like Beckett said, yes. Ever failed, ever tried, never tried, ever failed. I forgot it, but fail better, right?
Right. Yes. Fail forward. That's what I always say. Fail forward.
And well, stand up and push your crown at the correct place and stumble on, yes.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's been an absolute joy having you here today. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, it was a great joy to be interviewed by you, or uh, you were very great in letting me speak a lot. Yes, it was more or less a big monologue. Thank you for
Oh,
giving me the chance not to have to stop all the time. But of course, you could have done it. I was prepared for that, but you gave me such nice possibilities to this I can and that.
yeah,
So
well, this is the thing. We want to get to know you here on the Women's Wellness Network, and women of the Women's Wellness Network. We will put all of Sigrid's information into the comments section, so you can reach out to her and find out some more about her. Maybe view her YouTubes. I'm going to go check those out. That sounds like a lot of fun. And she has the ebook, so there's a lot of resources for you to be able to even just start to get to know her before you even, knock on her door with an email or any of that kind of thing. So there's lots of opportunities to get to see who she is on a whole nother level. So thank you everybody for watching.
yeah,
And of course, until next time, be well. And
sorry.
Sigrid, yes, no, you go right ahead.
I just want to say first, I opened my Facebook group only for women. but and then I said, well, what age range? But in the end, I said for every woman, because there are the 20s who want that help and the 30s. And then there were friends, male friends. What about us? And in the very end, I opened it for all genders, for all ethnic groups, for all. So, but here it is especially women wellness. But I just want to make that clear that my offers are open to everybody, and especially the Facebook group now is also open to all genders. Yes.
Okay,
Sorry for
good to know.
interrupting.
Good to know. Because also all of our women, they probably have some sort of male in their life also who could maybe use it. So knowing that is
Perhaps.
right. Yeah, it's good knowledge to know that you
Yes.
do work with everybody. So thank you again for coming. And yeah, I look forward to going and seeing your YouTubes.
Yes, and thank you, Tammy, for having invited me here and having given me the possibility to yes, talk about what I want to dare to share.
There to share that, a girl. Beautiful. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.